Hey guys, George here from the Football Chronicle, and I've got to talk about the violence and the crowd trouble at Euro 2024 because it's been something that's been bubbling under the surface for quite some time. I'd held off speaking about it because it was relatively isolated incidents, but it seems like it's really picked up in these last few days or so. So I just want to talk about it really because it's not on. It's not on. This is not what should be happening, and also kind of give my take on what, if anything, can be done. Because, some people will point to things like flares and smoke bombs and stuff in the crowds, which, we don't really see so much in England, but it's more common in other countries. Albania have done quite a bit of it, Croatia, Slovenia did it quite a bit as well in their match against Portugal the other night too. But, relatively speaking, I don't really have too much problem with that. I do understand that there is, risks around that, of course, that people might, drop it or throw it or something like that, and that's when things can get pretty hairy and scaring. But for the most part, I'm not completely against that pyro stuff. It's more common in other countries, of course, but I don't have a big problem with it. Something that is not common, well, is not allowed in the UK, and I should know because I've attended many football games over here, and I used to work at a football stadium as well. So having beer in the stands is not a thing in England, but in Germany it's commonplace. And to be honest, before this tournament, I was all for it. I absolutely think that we should be allowed to do that here in this country. At least I thought that anyway. Now, though, I'm not quite so sure because, in particular, England fans threw beer at Gareth Southgate in the wake of, I think it's when we played against Slovenia the other day. I mean, it's just embarrassing. I know, I get it. I get it. It's an awkward one for the fans and for the players because it's like, we've won the group, but we played so badly and did the absolute bare minimum to win the group. And our display against Slovenia was nothing short of a disgrace, even with the hindsight of Portugal also drawing 0-0 with Slovenia. I don't think England were very good at all, but do the players deserve that kind of abuse? Does the manager deserve that kind of abuse for that? No, absolutely not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a plastic cup of beer. It's not going to kill anybody, but it could hurt. It'd hurt if that hit you in the face. That hurt. Let's not go messing around here. I mean, it's not a glass, but it's still going to hit you, man. You're going to feel that, and the players don't deserve that at the end of the day. That's not on at all. So, I think it's downright disrespectful and ridiculous. And I mean, they're obviously not going to change anything now because this is a one-off tournament. German fans, for the most part, are a lot more level-headed than us when it comes to this sort of thing. Beer in the stands is normal, but for England fans and for fans of a lot of other countries, when they get the opportunity to do that, they just take with it and run. And we saw it again as well. We saw it again against Austria. Sabitzer was going up for a corner tonight and ended up getting hit by some cups of beer. And the Turkish players had to plead with the fans to stop it. So the question is, what do we do about it? Well, the ideal situation is that you probably ban beer from the stands just for Euro 2024. It's not a very common thing in football in general. Obviously, reinstate it for when, or just keep it as a Euro thing. Don't make it permanent. I'm not saying to the German fans you can't have beer in the stands anymore because you guys are very well behaved for the most part. There's no problems with that. But when it comes to the international fans, I just think it's asking for trouble. I really do. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's going to solve everything. The fans are all going to be level-headed and sober during these games. No, of course not. They're going to be drinking before they get to the stadium. They're going to drink in the stadium. The difference is they're just not going to drink while they're actually watching the game. They're just going to drink at half-time instead of something. So I think that's the only logical kind of way to do it. Aside from that, just keep fining the FAs. But that's not really that. The FA can't control the England fans like that. Yeah, the England fans are going to suffer for it, in theory anyway. But the FA is not down there and policing all the fans. That's down to the stewards at the stadium. So it's a real tricky one. There's not an easy solution, but the only thing they can realistically do to change anything is ban beer from the stands. But they're not going to do that partway through the tournament because Might well be a riot going off of this evidence, but that's my opinion, guys. What's yours? Let us know in the comments below, as always. And of course, for much more content on Euro 2024, do keep subscribed to the Football Chronicle.